Have you ever been in a crowded room, minding your own business, when suddenly you feel it, that slow, warm gaze sliding across your skin like sunlight? You look up and there she is, a woman you may or may not know, looking at you with something that isn't polite interest and definitely isn't casual. It's deeper, hungrier, the kind of look that makes the air feel thicker and your pulse find a new rhythm. And in that single, suspended moment you think, what did I just do? What does she see that flipped the switch from he's nice to I want him? Most men spend their entire lives chasing the wrong answers, bigger muscles, better jokes, flashier status, while the real triggers of deep, lasting female lust stay hidden in plain sight. Today I'm pulling the curtain all the way back. In the next 35 minutes together, I'm going to walk you through the 6 profound, research-backed, real, world, tested reasons a woman's body and heart decide, often in seconds, that she doesn't just like you, she lusts after you. And fair warning, none of them are what pickup artists or Instagram gurus want you to believe. I'm the intimacy doctor, real talk, real science, real intimacy. Let's begin with the foundation that literally everything else is built on: emotional safety. Not the watered-down version that gets mocked online, but the bone, deep nervous system level safety that allows a woman to relax her lifelong vigilance and let desire flood in. Decades of attachment research from John Bowlby to Sue Johnson to the 40-year longitudinal data from the Gottman Institute all converge on the same finding. A woman's erotic energy is directly proportional to how safe her body feels with you can hold space for her full range of emotions. When most people hear emotional safety, they picture a man who never gets angry or always agrees. That's not it. Real safety is the man who can stay warm and anchored when she's spiraling. The man whose voice drops a register instead of rising when she's yelling. The man who can say, "I'm right here, and I'm not going anywhere," and his physiology backs it up. I had a client once, ex-military, 6'4", built like a tank, who told me the first time his wife truly melted into him was the night she had a full panic attack in the car, and he pulled over, put his hand on her chest, breathed with her for 12 straight minutes, and never once tried to fix it or minimize it. She said later, "That was the sexiest thing any man has ever done for me." Why? Because her body finally registered. This man can handle storms. And once a woman feels that, her body wants to reward you with closeness, the kind that leaves marks. That feeling of safety creates the perfect soil for the second reason women lose themselves in lust: radical presence. In 2023, researchers at MIT and Harvard used fMRI to measure what happens in a woman's brain when a man gives her his full, undivided attention for just 90 seconds. The reward centers, the same ones that explode during orgasm, lit up brighter than when she was shown images of Ryan Gosling shirtless. Presence is neurological foreplay, but here's what most men completely miss. Presence isn't intense eye contact or nodding like a therapist. It's the subtle art of making her feel like the world just shrank to the two of you. It's remembering the tiny detail she mentioned 3 weeks ago and bringing it up now. It's the way you lean in when she speaks instead of leaning back. It's putting phone face down and forgetting it exists. One woman told me the moment she knew she was in trouble with her now husband was when they were at a loud concert and he turned his entire body toward her, cupped his hand behind his ear and said, "I can't hear you, tell me again. I don't want to miss a single word." She felt chosen in a way that made her knees weak. Presence whispers to a woman, "You are the most fascinating thing in my universe right now." And her body answers with heat. And here's where the magic deepens once safety and presence are locked in. The third switch flips. Calibrated playful tension. This is the electricity, the chase, the delicious uncertainty that turns "I feel safe with him" into "I need to feel him on me right now." Behavioral economists at Stanford ran a 10-year study on long-term couples and found that the pairs with the highest sexual frequency and satisfaction all shared one variable: ongoing playful antagonism, light teasing, inside jokes, the raised eyebrow when she says something sassy, the slow smirk when she tries to boss you around and you gently push back. Playful tension is the opposite of neediness and opposite of cruelty. It's the man who can grab her wrist mid-sentence, pull her an inch closer and say, "Be careful," Princess, keep talking like that, and I might have to kiss you quiet. And then he lets the moment breathe instead of lunging. That tiny pause, that's where lust being born. Women describe it as butterflies on fire. The male brain often fears tension equals conflict, but for the female nervous system, the right kind of tension equals foreplay that lasts for hours, sometimes days. Have you ever sent a playful text that made her respond with "You're in trouble when I see you"? That's the drug, and the best part, you don't need perfect lines. You just need the confidence to enjoy her without needing to control her reaction. Now watch how beautifully this flows in. The fourth reason, embodied competence. I'm not talking about bragging or flexing status symbols. I'm talking about the quiet, unshakable knowledge that you can handle your life, and by extension, protect and lead hers when she chooses to follow. Evolutionary psychology gets mocked a lot these days, but the data is undeniable. Across 37 cultures, women's physiological arousal peaks when observing men demonstrate skill under pressure. It can be as simple as the way you calmly handle a rude waiter, or parallel park in one smooth motion, or tell a story where everyone in the group leans in. Competence is erotic because it triggers the ancient circuitry that says this man increases my chances of survival and my children's. But here's the modern translation. When a woman watches you do something really well, whether it's cooking pasta from scratch, fixing the Wi-Fi, or negotiating a better deal, her body releases a subtle cocktail of dopamine and testosterone. Yes, her testosterone rises when she witnesses your competence. That's the same hormone that drives her libido. I've had women tell me they got instantly wet watching their partner hang a shelf perfectly level or give a presentation that commanded the room. Competence isn't about perfection. It's about the calm certainty that says, I've got this. And her body answers, then I want you. But here's where most alpha advice completely falls apart. Because the fifth reason a woman lusts so hard she can't think straight is when competence meets vulnerability. This is the holy grail, the moment you let her see the crack in your armor, the fear, the longing, the part of you that still feels like a little boy sometimes, but you hold it with strength instead of shame. Something happens in her body. Oxytocin floods her system, the bonding hormone, while dopamine keeps the fire raging. Brené Brown's 20 years of research on vulnerability shows that the single biggest predictor of wholehearted connection is the courage to be imperfect without collapsing. Translated to lust, the man who can say, I want you so much it actually scares me a little, or I'm terrified of screwing this up because you matter that much. While still standing tall, that man becomes irresistible. Vulnerability without strength feels like a burden. Strength without vulnerability feels cold, but when you put them together, you become the safest danger she's ever met. I've watched women physically tremble when a man finally admitted, voice steady but eyes soft, I've never felt this way about anyone before. That tremble isn't fear, it's her body saying, take me. And then, weaving through every single one of these like the thread that turns attraction into obsession, is the sixth and final reason, microscopic integrity. The small, unsexy choices that nobody claps for. Calling when you said you would, remembering she doesn't like cilantro, showing up 5 minutes early, telling the truth when a lie would be easier. A 2024 study from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology followed 300 couples for 5 years and found that dated A reliability was single biggest predictor of female sexual desire over time, bigger than income, looks, or even emotional connection. Why? Because every kept promise is a brick in the fortress of trust, and trust is the ultimate aphrodisiac. Fireworks lust fades, slow burn, I trust you with my body, and soul lust grows hotter every year. The man who texts made it home safe without being asked, who never forget to reply when he's with the boys, who admits when he's wrong without defensiveness. That man gets climbed like a tree at 2 a.m. On a random Tuesday. Integrity feels boring on paper, but in real life, it's pure erotic voltage. So let me lay it out clearly, because I want you to feel this in your bones. Women lust after men who make them feel safe enough to surrender, present enough to be fully seen, playful enough to keep the spark dancing, competent enough to lean into, vulnerable enough to bond with on a soul level, and trustworthy enough to desire without a single ounce of fear. None of these require you to become someone else. They only require you to become more yourself, the deepest, most honest, most alive version. If you're watching this and something inside you just whispered yes, Pause for a second and do something brave. Drop a comment and tell me which of the 6 hit you the hardest. Was it the idea of emotional safety, playful tension, vulnerability with strength, or was it the quiet power of integrity in the tiny things? Your comment might be the exact medicine another man needs today. And if this video shifted even 1 degree how you see yourself or how you show up in relationships, please tap that like button. It helps these conversations about real intimacy, real science, and real emotional health reach more hearts. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. If you want to go deeper into attachment styles, healing old wounds, turning conflict into intimacy, or mastering the exact words that make her feel chosen, hit subscribe and tap the bell. I'm here every week with no fluff, just the truth that actually changes lives. And when you're done here, YouTube should cue up my video, the 5 words that make any woman melt instantly, even if she's pulling away. Because once you understand why she lusts after you, the very next question is always, how do I keep that fire burning for years? Until then, keep growing, keep feeling, keep becoming the man she thinks about when her mind wanders in the middle of the day. I'm proud of you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.